Just as a disclaimer, all opinions in this video are my own and they are just that, opinions. If you disagree with anything that I say, that is valid, and I encourage you to let me know your thoughts on any of these topics and stories down below in the comments. Hello, welcome to a new video, and as you can see, I bought a microphone, so I'm like a real YouTuber now, and I have another video coming out that I pre-recorded before this one that I am not using my microphone in. That one is going to have no microphone, but all of my other videos moving forward are going to have this microphone, so hopefully it works out. Let's just jump right in. Before I forget though, make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you do not already, because I think I'm pretty great over there, and I want you to come join me on Instagram and Twitter. And the links are also always down below in the description, so you can click that link, follow me there. Go ahead and jump right into the video because we have 6 stories to cover today. Alright, so our first story that we're covering today is Dee Nguyen from MTV's The Challenge has been fired over racist tweets. So Dee is an Australian woman who first appeared on The Challenge in 2019 on the season War of the Worlds. And she showed up on the following season, War of the Worlds 2, which she actually won, and she's been a pretty big factor on both of those seasons. This season, Total Madness, Dee was invited back as well, and she has been a pretty big figure. And a couple weeks ago, we had Blackout Tuesday, where people were supposed to post a blackout picture, a black square on their picture of Instagrams in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, and to dampen their own voices and to give voices for Black creators. So Dee ended up posting a black square on her Instagram, and then she proceeded to post pictures afterwards, and someone called her out on social media, and Dee responded in a since deleted comment, but I have it here, so read. All you posted was a black square and went about your day and posting your lame thirst traps. Wake up. People are dying. Shake my head. So he ended up calling her out for this, and Dee ended up responding to him saying, "People die every day. You don't know me or what I do. I suggest you wake the up and get off social media." Black heart emoji. After getting some backlash on this by a few different people, Dee actually went out and tweeted something. So she tweeted, "I don't know why some of you think I'm anti-BLM. I've been saying that since the day I lost my virginity." So these screenshots that I have are actually from Bailey Dayton's Twitter, who was formerly on Big Brother 20 and is now appearing on this season of The Challenge with Dee. It kind of started this trend of a few different challengers calling Dee out on social media. I know Big T posted something, Anissa Fieria, who's been a longtime staple. She was on The Real World Chicago way back when and has been appearing on and off The Challenge over the last 10 to 15 years. Both posted something about calling Dee out, as well as Bailey and her husband. They called her out for using BLM as kind of clout and just not, being not a great person. I personally really have not enjoyed Dee on The Challenge. I am a fan of The Challenge. I have been watching it, and I liked her first season, but last season and this season, she just really thinks like she's like God's gift to this earth or something like that, and it's honestly really, really annoying to watch. But after Dee posted that comment and then tweeted that specific tweet, MTV actually responded, and they said that they are cutting ties completely with Dee and that she will no longer be appearing on The Challenge. And when I tell y'all, MTV was not messing around. This announcement came on Sunday of last week. MTV airs The Challenge on Wednesday nights. When the Wednesday episode of The Challenge came out, it was only an hour. Normally the episodes of The Challenge are now an hour and a half, and the episode was a complete total mess. MTV completely edited Dee out of the episode in total, and she actually was in the episode a total of 33 minutes over the course of the 90-minute episode. So, and that's 90 minutes including commercials, and that 33 minutes is just the scenes that would have included Dee in some sort of form. She was in the episode a little bit because she was part of The Challenge and she actually went into elimination in that episode, but completely all of the other, her house scenes, any of her confessionals were edited out of the American broadcast. The original episode did broadcast in Canada. That's how we have kind of these scenes. So if you want to watch them, you can watch them and you can see the original episode if it's still up. Dee had a total of like 20 some confessionals, which is like the second or third highest amount in a single episode in like 10 years or something like that. I don't know. It's really weird and it's crazy that they just completely edit her out. But I'm not mad because I like I said, haven't enjoyed Dee personally, and I think she does deserve to have some consequences. Do I think MTV went a little far in just like doing what they did? No, but I now want MTV to hold other people accountable for their actions and for what they've done, because MTV has had a lot of people say a lot worse things. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can literally go back and Google like MTV challenge controversies, MTV Camila. Camila was literally on the show and had a racial tirade against one of the most popular contestants on the challenge and was still invited back. The only reason she's banned and no longer allowed on the challenge is because she literally punched and assaulted a producer on the show. And even then, there are still rumors that she is called each season to see if she is available at least to come back. Yeah, I'm just ready for MTV to hold their other stars accountable. They did end up firing someone named Taylor, who was more part of the Teen Mom family, over similar racist tweets from her past. So I'm just ready to say goodbye to Dee, and I am looking for MTV to hold especially their male stars accountable. MTV lets their men get away with a lot, be holding everyone accountable and responsible for their actions. So moving on to the next story, we have actually the first ever Black Bachelor. His name is Matt James. Matt James was recently named the new Bachelor on Good Morning America. So he's 28 years old from New York, and he is the best friend of the breakout of Hannah Brown's Bachelorette season, Tyler Cameron. And Matt is actually the first Black lead in 24 seasons of The Bachelor. The Bachelorette previously had Rachel Lindsay as their first person of color lead in 2017 during the 13th season of The Bachelor, and Matt was actually cast on Claire Crawley's season of The Bachelorette. Now, if you don't know, because of the pandemic and everything going on in the world, they never ended up filming. It has been delayed. They are saying that Claire's season is going to happen and they have no intention of just skipping over it. They want Claire to have her journey. Actually, with a little bit of drama between Claire and Matt, Claire called a few people out on Twitter for having cameos and doing cameo appearances, and then Matt actually kind of clapped back at her and saying that all his proceeds from cameo were going towards the Robin Hood Foundation, which is a foundation for raising money for people who suffer from poverty in New York City. So it's probably a good thing that he's not on this season of The Bachelorette, because they already really haven't gotten along. ABC and The Bachelor have actually said that they're recasting Claire's season of The Bachelorette after all of this is going on. So I don't know if any of those original men cast are going to make it to the show. Matt bring a lot of much needed diversity to the Bachelor franchise. If I'm being honest, I don't think that we're getting more diversity in the Bachelor franchise as a whole. I think that this might just be a response to the current Black Lives Matter movement. I hope that ABC and The Bachelor keeps up this new kind of format. People aren't just white, blonde, and pretty all the time. There are other people who are different races, different colors, different shapes and sizes, and different ages, but we're just gonna have to wait it out and see how the seasons coming up in the future after Claire and Matt's seasons air, what they shake out to be. The next story is something that is pretty positive and a pretty good win. So the Supreme Court actually voted against discrimination for anyone to be fired or let go from their job based on sexual identity and sexual orientation. On June 15th, 2020, the American Supreme Court made a 6-3 ruling that any discrimination based on being gay or transgender is against the law in the United States of America, which is a huge win for everyone right now who's fighting for civil rights. We are, like I said, in the middle of the Black Lives Matter movement. Transgender people are fighting for a lot more rights too, especially during kind of Pride Month. And this comes after Trump and his administration were heavily pushing for this to be voted against, and this actually also comes after the Department of Health in the United States issued a regulation that undid protections for transgender patients against discrimination by doctors, hospitals, and health insurance companies. Which, if you're a doctor and you are pledging an oath to kind of give care to anyone, and you are forced to give care to literal murderers, and you are deciding not to help someone because they're transgender or because they're gay, like, you shouldn't be a doctor in the first place. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's too controversial, but that's how I honestly feel about the situation. This is a really huge win, a really great ruling, and I am really, really hoping that this is a turning point in America. So from a pretty positive story to one that is actually pretty gross, we have Benny and Rafi Fine, who have a really popular YouTube channel where kids, teen, elders, YouTubers, anyone really react to different things. So they were super, super popular back in like the golden era of YouTube. That's at least what I call it. That era from like 2011 to like 2015 where like skits were really popular and like, you know, the daily vlogging became really popular and the collabs with like the gross food eating challenges. Recently, they are in some controversy because Fine Brothers Entertainment employee put out a statement on her Twitter, which I am going to go ahead and read to you now. So the employee's name is Kennedy Jamit. I'll put the tweet here, but she says, "I can't stay silent about this," and then released this statement on her Twitter. So it says, "Yesterday, it was brought to my attention by several people that the Fine brothers directed, wrote, and participated in videos where one of them was in blackface. I want to clarify that prior to filming the recent Black Lives Matter episode on this channel, I had no knowledge about the blackface. I am shocked, saddened, and hurt and have been blindsided and flat out used, especially since they have not owned up to their actions by apologizing publicly or to their black cast members. Additionally, I sent the company an email before the Black Lives Matter video went out, simply asking for support in tackling vitriol or hate that would possibly come towards the black reactors who shared their stories to 20 million people. I sent this email because the last time I shared my experience as a black person on the channel, I had to deal with death threats on my own, one of which I had to take seriously. To this day, the company has been silent and not responding to my email despite their seemingly disingenuous Blackout Tuesday post urging followers not to be silent. For these reasons and a few others, I have decided to leave the channel. I know a lot of you who follow me know me from React, and I want to thank you for your support over the years. I'm going to continue to be putting out content on my social media, and I'm excited for what's to come in the future." So I'm not going to play the video that Kennedy references in her tweet because, one, I think it's offensive and just not funny and really gross. And this video was from 2009, and even in 2009, you should know that that's not okay. So we actually have two statements out from the Fine Brothers Entertainment Twitter. First is from Benny and Rafi themselves, and the second is from the CEO. Benny and Rafi's go, "Early in our careers, we sent out to make scripted comedy sketches and shorts that were designed to be edgy. In retrospect, it is clear to us that many of them were in fact simply offensive and hurtful, and we are deeply ashamed. This includes, in 2009, helping to make television parodies on YouTube that include Benny portraying African American actors by appearing in blackface. This was inexcusable, never appropriate, and we are profoundly sorry." Also, this video had Shane Dawson in it, but who's surprised? Not me. We have not been those people for a long time. Over the past decade, FBE has tried to use our platform as a force for good, making videos to speak out against racism, sexism, homophobia, and bullying. But while we were incorrectly thought that creating content at our company to help in the fight against many different kinds of discrimination was enough to make amends, it is clear to us that we should have done more. We owe our colleagues, partners, staff, talent, and fans a frank examination of our past and an admission that, whatever our intentions may have been, we made terrible errors in judgment. You could say that. Systemic racism extends in our industry and society today. We stand firmly with the movement to dismantle it. We have not done enough personally in this mission, and we know that we will be judged by our actions, not merely our words. We promise to do better, starting with the following pledges. We will increase diversity and improve employment practices at FBE. This includes a commitment to increase diversity of our staff overall, with initial goal to have at least 35% of our staff be BIPOC or Latinx by 2021. We will give FBE's platform over to or cover topics of underrepresented voices and causes once a month, the first of which will again cover the Black Lives Matter movement. FBE as a company has already donated to the NAACP in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. Additionally, we will personally donate to the Black Lives Matter movement through the NAACP. We will undertake a thorough examination of our company in consultation with outside experts to ensure that we implement and follow best practices on all issues to do with diversity and inclusion. We view our past content with disgust and shame. We know we have a lot to work to do to try to make it right. We promise to do so. Benny and Rafi Fine. Now, like I said earlier, 2009 is way too late, early, however you want to say it, they should have known better in 2009. And after this whole thing, also they got in a lot of trouble in 2016 when they tried to copyright the word react, which is just like so stupid. I really don't think their careers are going to be the same after this. I hope personally that they do really include more diversity in their workplace at Fine Brothers Entertainment. But we are just going to have to wait to see and see if anything else comes out. And it's hard to believe anyone right now because you didn't make these changes before people stood up and said something. So why are we supposed to believe you that you're doing it now? And that's just where I am on a lot of companies and things that are coming under fire. And with anyone, like, you clearly had time to fix these issues before and you're only doing it now because you're getting a lot of backlash from it. So it's just hard to believe some things. Okay, now it's the first of our big stories today. So Jeffree Star being exposed again. Before we get into this, I am not a fan of Jeffree Star. I do not like him, and I don't think he's a good person, and that is my personal bias coming through while reporting on this story. It's a pretty deep story, it's a pretty long story, there's a lot of details, so let's just get into it. A few days ago, a YouTuber and member of the beauty community, a boy named Cameron Lester, took to his Instagram to shed some light on his relationship with Jeffree Star. So Cam explained that he felt like he never had a real friendship with Jeffree and that he was only there as the token black kid in Jeffree's company. And Cam was a model for Jeffree, but always felt like he was being strung along, especially once Shane Dawson came along. And then he was replaced as a model, and he took that as a message that he was just a replaceable black boy, and there's a lot that goes in with that, and you can listen to Cam tell that story. Cam also goes on to say that he was so scared of Jeffree, or is so scared of Jeffree, and feels like he possibly could have a hit put out on his life, which is crazy. And Jeffree Star has been known for some racist issues in his past, so I'm sorry, but I'm inclined to believe Cam in this situation. And when someone says that they are so scared to speak out against someone because there could be a hit on their life, like, that is not okay. It's a very scary world to live in, especially, you know, when you are this young creator and you're given this opportunity and you feel like at any second it could be yanked from you. You are in, it's such an imbalance in power. And so I just feel for Cam in that situation completely. So Cam also, during this, dropped some major bombs that have sent many ripples throughout the last couple of days. Cam says that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson were heavily involved in Dramageddon 2 that occurred last summer. So if you're not aware, Dramageddon is basically when Tati dropped her video against James Charles entitled Bye Sister, where she made a lot of accusations and things about James Charles, calling out some of his bad behaviors, and James took that really hard and is still dealing with it and still reeling from it even a whole year later. And Jeffree nor Shane have really responded in a kind of appropriate manner. I've seen some tweets from Jeffree. I haven't really seen anything from Shane as of yet, but this caused a lot more people to come out and speak against Jeffree Star. So a YouTuber by the name of Ashley Kyle has shown a lot of text messages between her and Jeffree at the time of Dramageddon, which seems to implicate both himself and Shane in a lot of this. And Ashley's video was pretty great and I really liked it, so I recommend that you go check that out so you can hear her side of the story and just get a little bit more context. And Jeffree, after all of this came out, he sent a voice memo to Cam, which was really manipulative and to me was always intended to go out to the public. Like, Jeffree Star, he has made a fortune by being the way he is, so he doesn't do anything lightly, and he is going to take every step to try to manipulate the situation to make him look good. And that's exactly what it seemed like to me listening to that voice memo. It came out very manipulative, and that's just my opinion. Maybe you have a different opinion, but that's how I personally felt when I heard the voicemail. So while all this is going on, one of Jeffree's former friends by the name of Tab released this video that was later taken down, but it is back up on a different YouTube channel. Basically made these accusations by calling Jeffree out for being a bad friend to a lot of people, and he really focused on this Las Vegas trip they took on Valentine's Day weekend this past year, and he claimed that Jeffree was making fun of Trisha behind her back, that when she would leave the room or left, he would make fun of her skin and call her fat. He also claims that this other YouTuber beauty person, Rich Lux, came and spent some of the weekend with them. They went to this really fancy store, and Rich bought Jeffree a present, but it was the least expensive item in the store, and Jeffree was apparently complaining about that and saying a lot of things, and that Jeffree is just really rude and mean to people, anyone behind their back. And since this whole video thing come out, there's been a lot of responses, but both Rich and Trisha have kind of come forward, and Rich released this video that I watched. Basically was entitled like The Truth of Las Vegas or The Truth of Jeffree Star, something like that. And in the video, it just came off to me like Rich was making excuses for Jeffree, and it kind of came off like someone who is, I'm not gonna say scared, but like doesn't want to lose the influence that he gets from being connected to Jeffree Star in a way. And maybe he and Jeffree are, you know, good friends, and he just doesn't want to believe that these things happen, and maybe they didn't actually happen. We'll kind of get there. Trisha also has tweeted out a few things saying that basically she never expected anything from Jeffree and all of this stuff, and she really has been tweeting a lot the last couple days how she's just done with this situation and that it's so stupid, and basically saying that she never feared being canceled by Jeffree. That's kind of something that Tab pointed out, and that she just is done with this situation and she doesn't want to be involved with it anymore. Now, all of this is very messy, and I think the truth in all of this lies somewhere in between everyone's stories. Do I think that Jeffree said the things that Tab is claiming? Yes, I do. I 100% believe that Jeffree Star probably said those things. Rich defends him in his video, like I said, but it kind of comes off as someone who's just trying to stay in Jeffree Star's good graces. And anyone who speaks out against Jeffree always takes a huge hit publicly to their careers. Trisha, if you go back through her channel, after Tab allegedly sent these messages to Trisha, basically letting her know, which I believe was in April, a lot of her channel content focuses on her skin and being heavier, and we know that Trisha really focuses on like one comment or criticism for a while, so I think it definitely did affect her in probably a negative way. After this, it has kind of come out, there's some other texts between Tab and Jeffree that have come out that really I don't think paint either of them in a good light. To me, it really comes off like Jeffree was just it kind of seems like they were using each other. It seems like Jeffree was using Tab for weed, and whereas Tab was kind of using Jeffree for, you know, fame and success. Tab might have had more of like a semi-romantic feelings for Jeffree. Say in one of the text messages that he did have romantic feelings for Jeffree at one time. So I just think that something happened between Jeffree and Tab, and that's when Tab decided to go to Trisha and say all of this stuff, and it's just all coming out now. So like I said, I think overall the truth is somewhere in the middle. But getting back to Cam, I really hope he's okay. He's the one who really started all of this, and his name has kind of gotten lost in the week or so since the drama's been unfolded. I hope that he comes out of this bigger and better than before, and that Jeffree Star stans don't go after him. I'm sure they already have. I just hope that Jeffree really starts to be kinder in his relationships, whether that is professional or private, but I honestly doubt it based on things that we've heard in the past. Let me know your feelings for sure on this story down below, and I know there was a lot that I left out, but I'm covering 6 topics in this video and I didn't want to go super in-depth on a lot of stuff, but there are a lot more other videos out in the world about like this topic individually, so I recommend go checking some of those out. And our final story today involves allegations of shadow banning and YouTube dissing their creators, all from Gabbie Hanna. Gabbie was a really popular Viner back in 2013, and then she moved on to YouTube like most Viners did, and Gabbie has been releasing poetry and music for the last couple of years, and there's a lot to do with that, and there's a lot of videos revolving around her music and poetry, as well as Gabbie and her behavior. So if you are not caught up on all of that, to give you a brief synopsis, basically a lot of people have criticized Gabbie's poetry and music, and basically Gabbie's response is, I take criticism well, I thrive from criticism, but all of these people are just hating on me and it's just hate. And there's a lot of drama and commentary channels that have commented about Gabbie's relationships that we have personally heard from a few of her former friends, specifically with Jessie Smiles, which the big thing there was Jessie Smiles was dating this other Viner who she said her, and Gabbie was then hanging out with him and his friends. There's whole videos about this, both from Jessie and from Gabbie and a lot of people. Basically, what I want you to get from this is Gabbie Hanna comes under fire a lot, and a lot of people make a lot of videos about Gabbie Hanna, criticizing her basically and saying, I hope you do better in the future. At least all of the videos that I have seen, they at least say, please do better in the future. Some of them are pretty harsh and call her like a sociopath and, you know, narcissistic and stuff like that. And I don't think we can throw out those claims without having a psychology degree and being a medically trained professional psychologist to make those diagnoses. All of this started a couple days ago when Gabbie released her music video for her song Special, and all hell broke loose after that, like honestly, from Gabbie. So there's so many tweets and there's an Instagram live, I think multiple Instagram lives that I'm just going to try to compile and get what I can, but it's honestly such a mess that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get anything from it. Gabbie goes off on Twitter, mainly complaining about YouTube and saying that they are unsubscribing her followers, that they're removing her likes, that people are not viewing her channel as much as they should be, and she basically claims that YouTube is shadow banning her content, and she proceeds to basically have like this meltdown on Instagram Live, the best way I can describe it, where she is flying kind of off her high horse, and she said that she's a creator for 6 years on this platform and she has millions of views, and she has a screenshot that says like, with this level of engagement my video special should have at least 1 million views. YouTube, why does it not have 1 million views? Like, why am I not on the trending page? And then Gabbie really shifts to calling out the drama channels and the commentary channels, and basically says when you search my name in YouTube, all that comes up is these drama channels. My content doesn't even come up. And so she's essentially claiming that YouTube has shadow banned her and is hiding her content, and that she is being silenced. So in my opinion, I do not think Gabbie is shadow banned. When I search Gabbie Hanna into the search page, the first things that come up is Gabbie Hanna's channel, like latest from Gabbie Hanna, which is most of her music videos, and then any Gabbie Hanna related videos, whether they're hers or videos about Gabbie Hanna. Personally, for me, I do watch a lot of commentary channels on YouTube, so there are quite a few channels and videos that come up that are about Gabbie Hanna relating to that, but there's also a lot of Gabbie Hanna's videos that come up within that. In case Gabbie is unaware of how YouTube and the algorithm, the mystic algorithm works, the videos that come up when you search something in YouTube are based on your watch history and what YouTube thinks you're going to be interested in watching. So Gabbie, if you're typing in your name and drama videos are coming up, as much as you preach and say, I don't like drama, I don't partake in the drama, if you're watching drama videos, that's what's going to come up. If you're not watching drama videos, then it's going to be more probably of your own content coming up if that's the kind of videos you're watching. So there's that, and she's just really entitled, saying she deserves a spot on trending and all of this stuff. And YouTube has been dealing with kind of this issue for a while, with people being unsubscribed, people losing viewers, and it's a lot of creators that are impacted by this. It's not just Gabbie Hanna. And so Gabbie blasts off on Twitter and is saying, you know, I have an in-person meeting with YouTube, just keep resubscribing and we're gonna get this fixed. Basically, I know Gabbie has tweeted something about, you know, she's doing this for everyone, but it doesn't feel that way, and maybe she just was mad in the heat of the moment, and now that she has more clarity, she's like, you know what, no, I am gonna take a stand and get together with other creators to get this issue solved. And YouTube notoriously really only cares about their big creators, so there are plenty of smaller creators that have maybe a couple thousand subscribers that this happens to, and their voices will never be heard, which is just sad. I'm personally really curious to see how all of this ends up. I know a lot of drama and commentary channels are saying that they are no longer talking about Gabbie Hanna. You know, they can do what they want, it's up to them, but I think Gabbie is just fed up, and I think Gabbie needs to take a break. Personally, I think all of this is really getting to her, and the stress of it, and you know, she got a lot of criticism, like I said, that she just thinks is hate, and she does get a lot of hate. A lot of people do say just negative things about her because it's like the cool thing to do, but you know, her first poetry book didn't get a lot of love from a lot of people, at least what I've seen. I just think she needs to take a break, and if music and being creative is what she's passionate about, I think she needs to just take a year or two to really center herself and come back healthier and happier and thriving. I don't think Gabbie is an evil person. She, I think, got famous in 2013, and she was probably like 21-ish at that time, and so you're really still growing and developing. So I just think she needs to, like I said, really take some time for herself and just really recenter herself and hopefully come back and just really throw herself all into her music, because I don't want to see anyone go through this. It really did look like she was in such like pain and distress, and it was hard to watch and hard to see. So hopefully she gets something out of this. So that's all the stories that I had today. Like I said, a lot of these were condensed. I'm gonna maybe do these twice a week. We'll see. But yeah, I'm trying to have videos at least every Monday and Friday, and hopefully on Wednesday, sometimes occasionally too. But we're just gonna have to see if I stick to that schedule. Let me know your thoughts on any of these stories down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, like I said earlier, and anything that you think is hot pop culture gossip, tea revolving any celebrities or anyone. I know a lot of this was kind of focused on YouTubers, and that wasn't by design. Let me know any stories that you are following at the moment, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.